Coming up on This Week in Radio Tech, we're live at NAB 2023 in the booth of MaxxKonnect. And Josh Bohn's here.
Hey, I'm so excited.
I'm so excited that you're going to be here, too. We have a whole bunch of guests, including Joe Gearling, Tom McGinley is here, some dude from the NAB who's really important. It's all coming up next on TWiRT.
This Week in Radio Tech is brought to you by Broadcasters General Store with outstanding service, savings, and support. Online at bgs.cc. By Broadcast Bionics with the Bionics Studio, including talk show control, social media, and visual radio. Broadcast Bionics brings exceptional audience engagement to radio and TV. By Angry Audio. Audio problems disappear when you get angry at angryaudio.com. By Nautel, worry-free transmission you can count on with outstanding control, reliability, efficiencies, and Nautel's unmatched 24/7 customer support. Online at nautel.com. And by MaxxKonnect Wireless, prioritized high-speed internet service designed for transmitter sites and remote broadcasts.
And welcome into This Week in Radio Tech. I'm Kirk Harnack, your host. We're live at the NAB 2023. Now, we're in the West Hall, and there just an enormous amount of square footage and walking and seeing to do. My first guest right here is Chris Brown. Hi, Chris.
Good to see you.
Thank you for your patience. I appreciate it. We've never been to the channel before. It was all you. Chris, what do you do with conventions part of the NAB?
Sure. I'm responsible for the team that actually puts the show together, and it's a huge team effort, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
Actually absorbs a dedicated staff plus a whole bunch of other staff on the NAB side. And then hundreds of partners, and certainly this week when we're out here, you can imagine all the different bits and pieces that go into this, a million details, but we have a great team, and it's come together really well.
I would think, you tell me if I'm off base, I would think that really your goal here is to bring manufacturers and purveyors of technology together with buyers of technology and people who want to be educated. Get them together in a place that's comfortable and convenient that can accommodate all of them and give them the best opportunity to talk to each other.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. That was a good summary. Yeah, absolutely. And the first part is the key, right? Bringing the right people together.
Yeah.
And then doing as much as we can to facilitate those connections. Not always easy, as you mentioned, it's a big event. A lot of companies, 1,200 exhibitors here this year. That's about 25% of the budget, which is nice to see. But it'll also, set more of a stage for companies to kind of navigate through. And the people who are coming here, obviously, much of what's here will be relevant to them, but some of it won't. So, through the tools that we provide, whether it's a mobile app for the show, whether it's some of the materials, email materials and other things, or website, et cetera, that we provide, try to do the best we can to kind of really organize the show in a way that helps them at least get to the general pieces that are really important to them.
I have been here for years as an attendee. Mm-hmm. I've been here for years with different companies as an exhibitor. I've also been very pleasured to speak in the BEITC.
Yeah, great.
My goodness. So I've been here in many different roles. What else? Oh, and one of my radio stations that I'm part owner of won a Crystal Award.
Oh, fantastic. So, congratulations. That's really cool.
The only thing that I miss every year is the keynote because I'm always busy.
Yeah, right.
During the keynote.
Monday morning, yeah.
I do see signs around indicating the number 100. Mm-hmm. Tell me about what that means.
It's our 100th birthday. I mean, the show was originally launched in 1923, same for the association.
Okay.
It was all radio at that point.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until a few years later that television was added to the mix, and then eventually the organization rebranded and became NAB. But from a show perspective, it's been fun because we've used the opportunity to kind of reflect on, just all the changes in the industry, the incredible innovation and technologies that have come along the way. Because if you think about it, everything, all the big, shifts in the business have really been, either reflected or have been facilitated by, what's happening here at the show, because the show has always been kind of a launching pad. It's the opportunity for people to come and really show off what they have, what they may be bringing to the market that's new. So you're talking about, everything from, sound to picture, analog to digital. Now we're talking static to immersive, kinds of experiences. black and white to color. I mean, it's been fascinating, and obviously you see the whole technology curve played out in that because it really wasn't until the 90s that the internet was even a thing. Today, it's so integrated into everything we do. The evolution and the advancement has been amazing. Now we're going to be talking about AI, generative AI, and all those kinds of things that are now going to have an impact.
It was this show where I first experienced things like 4K television, 8K television. Lots of AI is going on around here, being demonstrated. A lot of the manufacturers come here to show something that they're not sure about. They want to see the reaction.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. So, testing new products, testing new concepts, big part of what happens here. It is, in essence, a great research opportunity. So, for anybody in the industry.
100th birthday, were there some years missed in the war years, for example, or COVID?
So it had only been missed one time, and that was during World War II, 1945, prior to COVID. So now 3 times with the 2 years we missed during COVID, unfortunately. But that's a pretty amazing testament, right? I mean, I would have thought as we, researched that and looked at it, that, during World War II, World War I, we didn't come till a little after World War I.
Yeah.
But you would think there would be other world events, and certainly I'm thinking World War II. I'm not sure exactly how they were able to kind of keep that link through, that period of time. So, testament to how valuable it is and how important it is.
Now, I already see signs, including I work for Telos Alliance. We got a sign up in the booth where we're going to be next year.
Yeah.
Do you start working on next year now? Or do you take a week off?
Yeah, no, and that's great. It's friends, family, and people who know what we do get it. Others who don't know what we do generally the question is, oh, that's great. What do you do the other 360 days of the year?
Yeah.
Kind of go, okay, well, it's a little more complicated than that, but we actually start working on this more 14 to 15 months out. So we've actually been working on 2024 for several months.
Well, yeah, and vendors make their booth
selections. Yeah, and we actually work with a number of our most loyal exhibitors to actually select what they want to do a couple months in advance of the show. So we came in knowing what at least 200 or so we're going to do. And then we've been working, with the other 800 to 1,000 here to kind of talk to them about plans for next year. And so we'll walk away actually probably having a pretty good sense for what about 80% of the folks are going to do. Now, big changes next year because it's good news and brings a little challenge. But the building is continuing to renovate and evolve the overall. We're sitting in a brand new building.
Right.
Really, it's only been online for a couple of years. And it has beautiful architecture, brand new everything, brand new shiny stuff. The other halls have been around for a while, they're a little worn, and they need a little upgrading.
Oh, okay.
So there's going to be a new common lobby that's actually built across the front face of the buildings across the street. But to make that happen, they're going to have to take certain space offline. So next year, we will not have access to the north building.
Okay.
Which means we got to bump over to the south building and actually use a little bit of that. And now with this building here and the south building in the mix, it's a long truck. So we're going to have to work hard to kind of make sure we can make it easy for people to get back and forth and circulate through that, and just put up with a little bit of construction kind of going on in the middle.
Get Elon Musk to give you cyber trucks, toss a bunch of people in the back like we do in Kentucky, Tennessee.
Yeah. That'll help.
Off we go.
That'll help. And he's done a nice job at the Loop here.
Yeah, the Loop is so fun. It's incredible.
Yeah, that's going to continue to expand. So good news.
Is there a connection to the finally getting finished Fontainebleau Hotel? Is there some kind of...
In terms of the show, there will be. So that will, certainly we will take a room block there. So we'll have folks staying late. And then eventually, we're not sure yet if it'll be done for the next show, but there will be a walkover that connects the Fontainebleau and this building.
Okay.
So for folks that are, staying here, it's almost like the Westgate and all kind of connection. And that's going to be a beautiful property.
Well, we're standing in the Diamond parking lot.
You
kind of say, wait a minute, these buildings, they connect to each other.
Yeah.
The facades do.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, so it's going to be great when it's done, but it's going to be a couple of years of challenge as we kind of work our way through it. So, but that's what we've been doing for a long time. So I'm sure we'll work around it. I'm sure it'll be, hopefully we'll grow again and be a great show.
Your job is enormous, but through it all, I've enjoyed every NAB show I've been to. It's just fantastic.
Great. Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, no, it's gratifying because this is, and the 100th is a great celebration just because when you hear the stories about people who've been coming for a long time, 40 plus years, we try to recognize all those people. Just the loyalty is fantastic. But a lot of people, started their careers here, or they've seen their careers change because of something that's happened here. They've met some of their best friends here.
Yeah.
People have gotten married, all those kinds of good things. So that sort of legacy is just a really cool thing.
Chris, I appreciate your time so very much.
Well, thank you for
managing through our technical issues and
no problem
joining us for a few minutes.
That's great. Thank you for doing this.
It's good to meet you.
Yeah, good to meet you too.
All right, this is Chris Brown. He's in charge of conventions at the NAB, and I'm not sure who's next. Is it McGinley? Is Magoo or Welton?
I don't know.
I got a camera on you. Josh is with me.
Hi.
Board. Hey, Josh.
How's it going?
It's going great. I don't have a camera wide enough for the both of us.
That's okay. It would have to be very wide and very high.
Yeah. Maybe you could work out with Freeman to string something from the rafters next time.
I can't afford that.
We've got a shot. We got a shot.
Hey, there we go.
ISIS has got our shot. Thank you, ISIS. That is awesome. All right. That's awesome.
Who should we grab? Hey, Tom McGinley. Or
I tell you what, Tom, have a seat, but I need Mr. Welton in here. It's time for an ad.
An ad?
Come on. That's going to make me sit. Okay, you sit down for a sec.
It's my knee. That's all right. We can Vegas, anything could happen.
My gosh. You got a stage here. Hey, Jeff Welton's here, and then Tom McGinley's coming up next. Jeff, I haven't done my Nautel ad. You just talk about Nautel. What did I miss when I didn't hear about the HD stuff?
You didn't hear about the HD stuff.
Go on just a little bit, but...
So we got the HD multicast, of course. That's nothing new.
Yeah.
But what is new is that we virtualized it. And, of course, you talk a lot about containers, and virtualization is a step down from a container. But virtualizing the HD multicast, we're able to put the whole thing together and put it all inside the transmitter with an Omnia 9 processor.
This is the
GV2. And I don't know, the 2 is just the next evolution. The cool thing is the only thing in the transmitter that really changed is the controller. So if you've got a GV1, or if you want to call it that, like, they'll give you an example. There are Betas transmitters. Serial number 0.5 is running this software.
Okay.
So we just put a new controller.
Yeah, firmware replacement.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's really cool. And
so now in a GV2 transmitter, an FM transmitter, what are all the functions that it'll do in the transmitter?
Well, HD multicast, of course, processing.
Which means you can feed it several program feeds.
Right, analog, HD1, HD2, HD3, HD4, theoretically HD5 in an MP11 world. So, there's a lot of options. The cool thing about it, I think, is that you could take as an example, you could take he keeps moving cameras. I don't know. Look at me, sir. But you could take, for example, you could have a conventional HD multicast at a studio, maybe have a network with a couple of transmitters with the software, the virtualized HD multicast and processing in each one. And then if you've got like an EAS alert for this county, but not for the rest of your area, you can localize the EAS alerts, targeted, geographically targeted advertising. Okay. So it's just a lot more power and flexibility.
And when I heard from my booth, I work for Telos. When I heard the Omnia 9 could be had in there, that was pretty impressive. I thought, well, they must have more electronics in there because the little Linux computer wasn't going to run Omnia 9.
So it is a Linux Yotto-based computers,
right? Okay,
but yeah, there's a pretty big quad-core DSP package running the whole thing. So
there you go.
And I mean, we're not tapping the limit of that thing either. So there's room to grow. Where we go down the road, who knows?
I am excited because this summer I'm putting on. I've advised people on HD implementations for years. But now I'm finally doing my own. I will own one soon. And it'll have a Nautel transmitter. It'll be a VS series transmitter with an external multicast plus going on. And I'm excited because we're putting everything, automation, multicast plus, of course, the transmitter, the audio console will be running in a container. Everything's in the transmitter side.
Right. So you could take it a step further because once we got the GV virtualized, we got a software package built. There's nothing that says that couldn't be hosted, and one of the things we've demoed is hosting on AWS with Amazon.
Yes.
But beyond that, you could build your own virtual server anywhere and host your multicast plus and processing wherever you happen to be or want to. Now, like, say in Nashville, if you needed to have backup in case your tower fell down. I think something like that happens.
We're gonna get Tom Silliman over here to see if we can containerize the antenna as well.
That would be a fun project.
That's a winner right there. That's a winner.
So I can see that.
Virtual towers. If people want to find out more about this Nautel stuff you're talking about, how do they do that?
Info@nautel.com, absolutely the fastest way.
That's email, info@nautel.com.
Right. On our website, of course, www.nautel.com. I'll probably be we did do a product release webinar that you can find on our website. And I mean, beyond that, just track me down. I'm more than happy to talk about anything. You know that.
Well, and you got so many resources on your website. Yeah. The Transmission Talk Tuesday videos.
So
are they there, or are they on YouTube?
on the main page, go to think it's media or resources, and then webinars, and away you go.
Okay.
So you're going to make me think about that. I don't go to my own website nearly often.
Well, they're on the website.
It's like, do you know your own phone number? No.
No.
All right,
Jeff, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
I appreciate Nautel's support, and we got a great relationship. So
it's been a good time.
Okay.
Thanks very much.
Take care.
See ya.
Hey, it's Kirk Harnack. Josh Bohn is here too. Josh, there's your camera.
Where?
Hey, what?
Oh, there I am. That's scary.
Josh, this idea you've got MaxxRadio and implemented by ISIS, who's running camera somewhere behind.
She's
there.
behind you. Yeah.
Here, let's put ISIS' camera on. There's the hello there. There's ISIS. You are. I know we can't see you. Well, we could if I. Okay, let's see.
Why don't you have her sit there? She can actually be part of the show.
Wait a few more seconds. She's a little prettier than you are.
Tom always lets ladies go first.
Let's see if I can get a two-shot. There we go. There's ISIS with her camera, her red camera.
I got it on you.
What do you do?
Well, Josh actually invited me to be the program director for MaxxRadio. I have been a learning experience all the way through. Chris Roth has done more of the heavy lifting than anything, but helping the schedule, make sure that everybody shows up on time, and y'all have been doing amazing considering that I helped to put this together beforehand.
Yeah.
But it's been an amazing project from start to finish. Amazing to watch these guys put together a station in 4 days. And the process has been more than just, the week of NAB. We've been having a lot of fun with it. The music, of course, the jingles, the sweepers, putting all that stuff together has been a pleasure. And, of course, creating MaxxRadio just to broadcast here right in Las Vegas for NAB.
Will MaxxRadio be back?
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
That's a discussion I have to have with Chris Brown.
All right. Well, Isis, thank you.
No, thank you.
You're going to marshal in our next guest. And he's right over there. If you
He gets very distracted.
There we go. There he is. Yeah, he makes his way to the stage, ladies and gentlemen.
All righty, ladies and
It's
gentlemen.
Tom.
boys and girls.
Tommy Mack, the best pipes in engineering.
Thank you very much.
There you go. That's right. Tom,
Yeah.
what's your favorite impedance?
50J0.
50.
All right. That's a winner right there.
Yes, that's a good one. All right. Do you have a second favorite impedance?
Well, I guess I'd have to say 10,000 ohms.
10,000. Okay,
Yeah.
so you like to bridge things together.
I like the bridge.
Yeah. What's the? Now, surely you've come across some kind of terrible bridging job. Like, oh my gosh, what were they thinking? Like one output and there's 17 cassette decks recording. RCA
Off of one 10K RCA connector.
Well, can you spell DA or can you spell Henry Matchbox?
Oh, well, yeah, that would do.
Yeah.
That would be the way to.
You could do it that way.
Yeah.
But, if you got a low impedance source and you got high impedance destinations, you could do the Christmas tree approach and just string them all together as long as your common mode's maintained. So, and you get ground loops and all that crap to worry about. But try it. If it works, you're home free.
Well, if all of your RCAs are like jammed onto each other, but then all of your AC power is also jammed in the same strip, you shouldn't have ground loops, right?
Shouldn't.
No.
Yeah. So is this a quiz?
We're problem solvers.
We're running AC power and mic level through the same pipe, everybody.
Tom, here we are at the show, 2023 NAB show. Have you seen anything that kind of made your socks roll up and down?
Well, I'm chopping transmitters, and I was surprised and amazed to see quite a few new entries that I hadn't seen before or even heard about. The Brazilians have some transmitters over here, all solid state. You can stack them up to 40, 50 kilowatts, depending on your power. American amplifiers have a solution. And then, of course, all the big guys, Nautel, gates there. We know and love all of them. But at least there are options out there. Cresso, WorldCast, and of course Elenos and VE. They're on their way back, and they've got an impressive little product.
I've got a few of several of those myself.
Do you?
Yeah, I got some Nautels and a few Elenos. Yeah.
Is it Elenos or Elenos?
I don't know.
I think it's Elenos.
Elenos.
It's
That's what they told me.
If you ask Chuck Kelly, he would tell you Elenos.
Yes. And I think that's what Rich will tell you too. So I'll go with what Rich says.
Well, the one thing the Italians have done is really learned how to, get the sized footprint down and the weight reduced to a level that is very impressive for the power. Watts per pound, watts per square inch. They've really broken through with that.
Good.
Like that.
Anything if you looked at any of this artificial intelligence stuff, any demos of that, or is it not interesting?
No, there is a demo over here. I'm trying to remember the name of it, but you take a snippet of somebody's voice, and then of course you can create a complete conversation in their voice. And you've seen all the hacking that's been going on the internet, and all the, I guess, extortion of money and scaring people and all of that. You've seen that on the news.
You mean like Tom McGinley 24/7 as your host?
Well, I don't know about that. I think I'd been on
that scare
gas.
people?
Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, the problem with a lot of this stuff nowadays is it's all subscription based. If you want to buy somebody's new technology that's clever, you've got to buy it every month, and you don't own the hardware. You just use the software. And that's the new world.
Well, one of the, with hardware, at some point you had to call it done and ship it.
Right.
Software is never done.
No, it never is. And the bugs always keep flying.
Yeah.
Exactly. You got to learn how to swat them down and keep running.
So you like some talk radio yourself. You like to hear people argue or discuss.
Absolutely.
And so I think they've got AI now that can be a fake caller for you.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
have to call your mom. Mom, could you please call on the show?
Yeah.
Or call your brother, call your wife. Could you please call on the show? I need the fifth caller to win a prize.
Yeah.
Or I need somebody to talk about the school board meeting or something.
Sure.
Well, so now they got AI that can be the caller, right?
I know.
And
exactly.
then they got AI that can be the host.
Right. And it's a brave new world where a lot of spoofing is going to be going on.
Yeah.
You're going to have, you've heard of fake news?
Yeah.
It's going to be fake artificial intelligence voices forever.
My goodness.
Telling weird stories and even more fake news.
Didn't Howard Stern have a problem with that?
He did that.
Bowie guy or
Baba
something?
Booey.
Was that it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, so it's not that this is a new problem.
It's not new.
It's just that now it's being done robotically, or could be done robotically.
And high tech and with precision and very little effort.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy.
Precision and very little effort. Wow.
That's technology for you.
Man. So what are you looking forward to when you get home? You got some projects?
Well, I got a lot of projects. I came back to Montana when the CBS radio folded, and I thought I was going to retire. They wouldn't let me retire. So
they found you.
They found me, and they got me working at Town Square Media.
Okay.
7 stations there. Got that operation pretty well cleaned up. After 5 years, they didn't have a chief engineer there, so there was a lot of little things to work on and fix. But 4 years ago, the University of Montana conscripted me to be the RF guy for all their little stations, and we're putting in some new ones this year. We've got CPs for, I think, 5 new ones. We built 2 of them already, so there's 3 more to build this year, and then 2 more after that, after next year. So it's always busy. Every day's a gift. Every day's different, and we try to use them wisely.
Hey, we're streaming with StreamYard here, and the only problem I've really had, first of all, is I'm trying to run it and talk at the same time.
Yes, you are.
That's too much to do. Too much for me anyway. And then we had some USB issues. But I want to give a big thanks to Rob Ashard, and I can put his comments here. Maybe the camera phone audio needs muting on the Vision Mixer. And you know what? He's right. I thought I had it muted, and I didn't, so I muted your mic. My fault, but thank you for being that camera operator.
Uh-huh.
But the others were muted. So, again, thank you very much. I got a comment here from Ben Reed. That would be cool. I'm not sure what that was in response to. It's probably something you said. I'm sure it was. And then Ben Reed says, argue with an idiot. I guess that was the automated... which one? Is the live host the idiot or the AI the idiot?
Well, AI is going to replace humans, so we'll all be idiots at that point.
Yeah, there you go. Tom, I appreciate you being with us. We're gonna don't leave yet. I got a little.
A lovely parting gift?
Well, we're gonna hear a commercial. That's a lovely part.
Okay, very good.
We're gonna hear from our sponsor, and that is Broadcast Bionics and the Bionic Studio. So we'll be right back right after this.
Welcome to the Bionic Studio. The Bionic Studio brings all audience interaction to the fingertips of a production team in radio, TV, and podcast. Our workflow-led system is working 24/7 around the world for small broadcasters and national and international networks. Our telephony module, Bionic Talk Show, allows cost-effective centralization, remote operation, scalability, and resilience across an entire network of stations, but at the same time is used in single-studio self-op environments. Social media curation and activity is now considered a broadcast-critical part of programming. Bionic Social means the studio isn't overwhelmed with a wall of interaction from an ever-growing number of social platforms. We combine SMS, MMS, and email together with a speech-to-text service for listeners using smart speakers. We enable studio teams to curate, filter, and display all platforms in one place, and post text, images, and video content to multiple platforms in one operation. Effortless collection of video content with Bionic Director has helped position some of the world's most successful stations as leaders in viral content, generating appointments to listen and free marketing via retweets and shares. Bionic Contest enables end-to-end tracking of on-air competitions, live reads, and prizes. These could be on-air contests, automated SMS entry, or online. Anywhere, and Skype TX for Radio brings high-quality audio and video contribution into the studio with ease. No need for dedicated PCs to run different applications. Everything is controlled within the Bionic Studio UI, and incoming connections are visible to users along with all other platforms. Our codec integration enables connection, algorithm configuration, and directory to a wide range of IP and ISDN codecs. The Bionic Studio, a unique suite of products designed to enable your talent to work smarter.
So much to Broadcast Bionics and the Bionic Studio. So many different products that can work together. You get to pick and choose, mix and match the things that you want to do. And, Tom, let me scoot you over here. Yeah, scoot over here a little bit. There we go, right in the camera. All right. Thanks a lot to thanks to Broadcast Bionics for sponsoring This Week in Radio Tech. And coming up in a few minutes, we're going to have an ad for MaxxKonnect, and I've got just the guy to talk about it. In fact, he's running the board here. Let me bring in. There he is. Hey, how's it going?
It's great. It's great.
It's Josh, but what if I hit this button? What happens? Oh, we get
hey, we got everybody.
See, I'm this is why I'm not very good at this.
I like that. That's trippy.
It's like Baskin Robbins. I've got too many choices. Too many choices.
Quad view. All the way.
I wish I had, I need one of those Elgato boxes, the Stream Decks, so I can just punch.
Oh, or an ATEM or something like that. Yeah.
But right now, I got to move a mouse, and I'm not very good at that, so.
We don't have mice in these studios.
We don't have what?
We don't have mice. I put the stuff out. There's no mice in here.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
They chew the wires.
Let me bring him back up full screen. Tom Driggers is here. Hey, Tom, welcome in.
Good to see you. Yeah.
Went from McGinley to Driggers. Yeah. You two know each other?
I vaguely remember Tom.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, we'll get your mic right up in there.
A little bit closer there.
And when it's time for his close-up, I guess let's see how that camera looks. Oh, it's from the other angle, so it's like the reverse angle. There we go.
Wow, this is fancy multi-camera setup here.
There we go. It's in my shot. Okay. That's ISIS on that camera.
Yeah.
Oh, all righty. So, Tom, I see you on Facebook with all kinds of projects, usually on top of mountains.
Yeah, I go to a lot of sites.
What do you do?
I do three things.
Yeah?
Mainly. Contract and consulting engineering.
Right.
So radio, television. I also work with our specialties of California.
Okay.
Repping gear, sell everything from the microphone up to the tower.
So if you need an elbow or a bullet, you know if it's in stock or not.
Yeah, I can find somebody that's got it.
Okay. All right.
Usually. Yeah. Yeah. And then some friends and I are dabbling in TV ownership as well.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I do. Yeah. I can't emphasize this too much because you make these Facebook posts. You're at what I think are exotic transmitter sites. You're on top of mountains, typically.
Yeah.
And at these, you typically do maintenance or installations or decommissioning. What sort of things?
Mostly it's been installations.
Okay.
Lately, either show up and just babysit the tower crew and make sure when there are questions that I can tell them what to do, or what we got to fix, or what we got to get overnighted if something was missing. A lot of the trips are just some maintenance. This last 12 months, this last year was like the biggest road trip I ever did.
Oh, okay.
If you saw all that. I was building some low power TVs for my Central Valley group. Drove from home in California to Yuma, Arizona, to Beaumont, Texas, a couple spots in Wisconsin and Duluth, Minnesota, and
What would you say in your progression through your career? What's been the thing that where you've learned the most, the quickest? In other words, how did you get started, or was there some place along the way that, oh man, I was commissioned to do this job or that job? A lot of stuff I didn't know, but I said yes anyway. And I every night I spent reading manuals. I'm just looking for how did you get really proficient?
How did I do it? Well, as a very young kid, electronics was a hobby.
Oh, okay.
So I'd be 7-year-old kid in the local library reading about, finding every book in the library that had something to do about computers.
Okay.
I remember an elementary school teacher walking in the library one day and like, what are you reading? And I said, I'm learning about ENIAC. And she's like, oh my God.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So, and then at 13 years old, the church I belonged to built a radio station, which eventually ended up as the very first K-Love.
Really?
Yeah. So that's age 13, that was my start in broadcasting.
What city would that have been in?
Santa Rosa, California.
Okay.
KCLB.
That's north of
San Francisco.
And south of Petaluma, isn't it?
Santa Rosa is still north of Petaluma.
Oh, north of, okay.
San Francisco, Petaluma, Santa Rosa.
Okay.
So, of course, my phone's ringing. Somebody wants something.
Well, they see you on the show.
Yeah, they're calling. Then I got really lucky in my career to be invited to work at KFRC San Francisco, RKO.
Mm-hmm.
That was an amazing place to learn how to do it exactly right.
When you worked at RKO, big company, did you get to meet with and learn from other engineers in the company?
Yeah. Well, I only worked at KFRC as far as RKO, but being back then, it was a union shop. There were like 9 engineers there.
Oh my goodness!
There was a lot.
One radio station.
One radio station.
One radio station. 9 engineers.
9 engineers.
Okay. Okay.
There were like 3 or 4 people that knew the transmitters, and everybody knew how to work on studio stuff. And so that was the chief engineer at the time was Phil Lerza. I'm sure a lot of people remember.
I've met Phil. Yeah, years ago I met Phil.
Yep. So, and then from there on, I just kept consulting. Mm-hmm. I found I don't like a day job. Mm-hmm. So if you're in the consulting business, everything's new all the time. And just trying to stay up on people's odd problems and how to solve it. So it was kind of like working by myself. And it's always a challenge.
Are you more in the RF world than in the studio
I am
world?
both.
Oh, you're both?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've done everything. So
What, if anything, have you been seeing here at the NAB show that sparked, what interesting conversations? What sparked your interest?
Oh, I mean, in this show?
Yeah, this show. Yeah.
It's pretty much overall the same thing every year, except there's little product improvements that happen all the time. The biggest product improvement I've seen that's coming out is the Elenos Group Quick Block design, really miniaturizing transmitters.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Way more than has typically been accepted.
Yeah.
So, and it goes back to the first first radio transmitter I ever worked on was a Harris FM1K. The thing was like larger than a large refrigerator. 1 kilowatt.
Yeah.
And now, every so often everything gets condensed, a little more. Then you end up with our friends here at Nautel next door with, 300-watt transmitter in a tiny case, and the Elenos over there with the 50,000-watt FM in one rack.
Yes.
So
that's crazy.
So You know, I was thinking like, you know, how long will it be before I have a 50 kilowatt transmitter in my pocket? So that'd be a little dangerous to light up. But
okay, there he is. Miss Isis. There is here, I'll take your camera. There we go. You know, I was not smart and hired you to marshal guests. There's a gentleman over there in a dark green shirt. His name is Joe Gearling. I would love dearly if he would come spend a minute with us. You could make that happen during the next commercial, maybe, or yeah. Awesome. Don't want him to get away. Hey, do you know anything about Broadcast Tools boxes?
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
Well, they're one of my sponsors.
Oh, okay.
And maybe we can get Josh Bohn in here too, because I bet you Josh uses a few of those. Hey, Josh, wake up.
Oh, sorry. I was napping behind the console.
Josh, we need to spend just a minute chatting about Broadcast Tools.
Okay.
And the boxes, the things that they make to make our lives better.
Absolutely.
What's your favorite Broadcast Tools box?
Oh, my. There are so many. I have a hard time. There are so many. I have a hard time picking. I think what I probably have used the most in my career has been the various flavors of audio switchers.
Oh, yeah.
The ACS 8.2s all the way back to the original, 8X2 gray front switchers.
Yep.
They're just the workhorse of the industry when it came to automation switching prior to AOIP. Now we use a lot of their remote control products.
Okay.
The Site Sentinels and the Site Sentinel 4s, Site Sentinel 8s, things like that. They just work.
Okay.
That's the greatest thing. They just work.
And these are web based as well, right?
Absolutely, web based. The 8 has a dial-up interface as well. We have a lot of customers that use those and use them with our MaxxKonnect modems and things like that. So yeah, the Broadcast Tools has always just been a workhorse as far as reliability and flexibility for what we need to do.
What about they've got these silence sensors that are web connected, and
Absolutely,
Chris Tarr loves those.
Yes,
the Sentinel Web 4, something like that.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact number, but I know exactly what he's talking about, and they're great because you can connect your audio to it, and it gives you the alerting through email or text messages exactly the way you need it. So it just the products that they have developed over the years are just incredible. I remember the COA and COP satellite adapters.
Oh yeah,
for the back of your satellite receiver and things like that. That was a huge time saver whenever we were wiring satellite receivers, and it's been like that for 15 years. So yeah, the line of tools that Broadcast Tools offers is just amazing.
One of the things that I like about Broadcast Tools, and some people think they're a competitor, but they're kind of not, and that's Henry Engineering. They make different things, and often you need stuff from both companies.
Yes.
To finish up your broadcast facility.
Absolutely. I mean, all of these types of people, just the things that they make, so many of the products are complementary. As opposed to competing. I mean, yeah, there's going to be a little bit of overlap. They both make a matchbox and things like that. But they're the complementary products that are out there that can just solve the little annoyances as you're building studios or putting transmitter sites together, or, hey, we were off the air for 3 hours. Why didn't I know about it? Well, let me buy this little box and put it in here, and you'll know. Whether you want to or not, you'll know.
Let me ask Tom here. Do you have a favorite Broadcast Tools brand box?
I mostly use Site Sentinels.
Okay.
And the most recently implemented project was actually with one of my TV stations. We're doing live sports. So, and somebody has to go to the facility and, hey, there's 10-9-876-543-121, play the break.
Yeah.
So... And I was thinking, I don't like going to the facility to do that.
Okay.
So the automation play out and the video switchers all have GPI. So I took a Broadcast Tools box.
Oh, okay.
And I can go to the web interface of it. When it's time to play the break, I can hit a button on the web interface. It fires a relay, back feeds to a status input that then fires a script to run all the relays you need to do at that time to make the switch.
Oh, okay.
And play the spots. And then when it's time to come back,
comes back.
Yeah. And put everything back to normal, go to the live feed. So I've done sports games from the hotel room in here near Vegas.
Okay,
So
yeah, sure.
That's great.
Like,
Sure, yeah.
everybody, hey, don't bother me for 2 hours. I'm doing a game.
Tom, I want to thank you for stopping by.
Yeah.
Thanks
good to see you.
so kindly.
Yeah,
It's good to
yeah.
talk to you.
Good to talk to you finally here.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
right.
And so we're going to finish up the ad, and we're going to see if we can get Mr. Geerling to finish up. Broadcaster General Store. That's where I get broadcast tool stuff from, and they are a sponsor of This Week in Radio Tech.
Very good.
BGS.cc, and you can call them at 352-622-7700. They got lots of stuff there at Broadcasters General Store. Shane Finch, Buck Waters, Jessica Shute, the whole family there will be glad to help you out. Jonathan as well. Thanks a lot to BGS for sponsoring This Week in Radio Tech. All right. The show continues, Tom.
Yeah, thanks again.
Thanks again. Josh Bohn,
Yes.
Thank you for running the board, man.
Sure.
And Max, tell me about what you guys do. A lot of integration.
Yep. A lot of integration, a lot of transmitter installs, full equipment dealers,
Yep.
MaxxKonnect wireless, which
Yep.
we talk about regularly. But no, we're doing a lot with different brands and making sure. I mean, we built this studio in 4 days. The full studio here on the floor, start to finish. The guys got in here Monday afternoon.
Are we done?
All right. Well, I was going to talk to Joe. Did you want to talk some more?
No.
Oh my!
Talk to him. I want to talk to this.
All right.
Yeah, I was gonna say
But no, the guys got in here Monday afternoon and started building Tuesday morning, and by Friday we had a full functioning radio station.
Wow.
So,
wow.
And we can do that for you, your station, whether it's studios, transmitters, whatever it is. I've got the full sales team, Chris Roth with wireless sales.
everything you said last.
And so much of being able to build a studio quickly is thanks to audio over IP.
Absolutely.
And there's several flavors of that. There's WheatNet, there's Dante, there's LiveWire, there's AES 67.
Correct.
If you're TV, it's ST2110-30.
Yep.
Which is kind of a subset of AES 67. So
No, and that's the thing. The AOIP has really streamlined things. And honestly, we use a lot of the Studio Hub adapters from Angry Audio.
Oh yeah.
That is just, and I've done this for years. I refer to that as the click studio, because you click it in one end, you click it in the other end, and boom, you're done. As opposed to spending 30 minutes sitting there soldering XLRs and plugging them in, and oh crap, I forgot to put the shell on. So now you got to unsolder it. And yeah, it is amazing how much of a time saver the Studio Hub line from Angry Audio is for any AOIP flavor. I mean, honestly, almost any piece of gear. Things have adopted the Studio Hub Plus standard that I never would have expected. I get a piece of gear and there's an RJ45 on the back. I'm like, yes. So
hey, I've got to ask you a little inside baseball question. We got started late because I had USB issues here. Do we need to stop at the top of the hour? Can we go 10 minutes past?
we can go 10 minutes past.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's nice when you run the station. You can decide what the schedule is.
We're going. No, Kirk, it's time for you to get on out of here, son. Get on out of here. We've had enough of you.
If you were just rambling, then I'd kick you out. But no, this is a great time.
Okay. Well, so you don't mind my rambling?
No, not at all. Because it's not just you. I mean, we've got Joe now.
Yes. Well, that might make things interesting.
Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, Joseph Geerling, howdy.
How are you?
How you doing, man? It's
good. What am I doing here? That's
I
the
don't,
question. I know what I'm doing.
He's going to
here.
ambush you.
Awesome.
He's going to ambush you. That's what's going to happen.
You know what? We should move together a little bit because it just doesn't look good on TV for us to be COVID distance apart.
Act like you like each other, boys. Act like you like each other.
That's right. I like Joe Geerling. Yeah. You're in the St. Louis market?
St. Louis market, and I've been lucky. I've been there all my life.
Really?
I could have moved, and things worked out great. There I was.
More than anybody needs to know, I was born in St. Louis.
You were.
In Lutheran Hospital, which is now closed.
Yeah.
In 1962, so 61 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Long time ago.
Yeah. Do you have any memories, or did you move out before you were?
We moved out. My dad was a Lutheran minister, and he got reassigned pretty quickly.
Gotcha.
You know, it's funny. We're getting ready to go back to Portland for an SBE meeting, and when I go to Portland, I always tell the SBE folks, I said, I'm 55 years old, but I was here 56 years ago. Y'all figure it out. My dad had a temporary assignment in Portland.
Yeah.
And my mom and dad, the little lovebirds,
Yeah.
Then they moved back to St. Louis, and where I was hatched.
Yeah. Nice.
So tell me about your stations.
Well, I had worked, for years with CBS and Odyssey, and a guy there, a Catholic broadcaster, Tony Holman, had asked me every once in a while. I was like, Joe, can I hire you? We need, and he's going through the same thing everybody is. Engineers aging and aging out. He had a guy, 82 years old, and had a heart attack to take him out. It didn't die. He lived. But I'm saying it took him out of this routine of running all these stations. So we have Covenant Network. It's got 43 signals. I say signals because there's like 20 stations, and the rest are translators. We got 4 AMs. So it's a broad amount of experience. Going from everything's 50 kilowatts, 100 kilowatts, down to where a 250 watt transmitter is critical for a whole town that we're covering. So it's just been a good change, but it's been good. I love having an owner right down to, 45 feet away in an office.
Okay.
That's a different thing. I started that way where the owner, we were all in the same building. A guy owned one station and everything was about that station. And over the years, as you know, it became more and more stations and less engineering guys per station. Yeah. So you have to deal with that. And all of us, I think you see how it comes. You just don't know the pace. So we got to the point where the timing of a switchover was great for me personally to be going from that very busy super world, and I loved it. I loved all the work in radio I've ever done at KMOX in St. Louis and all you guys back in St. Louis. I loved all that KMOX, Y98, all of them were great. But going with this job change for me at this time was great. It's been relearning, and when you get to use skills that you knew 30 years ago, equipment that's no longer made, and then you get a job where you need about a third of it. Is that? It's kind of cool. There's a cool thing about that. So,
tell me, I got two questions for you as we finish up our interview. Here at NAB, what did you come to look at? What did you see that's interesting? What did you find out?
Yeah, well, one of the biggest things is I've asked several booths, like, what do you think AI is? How do you explain AI?
Okay.
Because you think about that, like everybody's it's branded all over the place. But for us, as opposed to like, what is AI going to take out? We're looking at what can AI bring in. Like if I could have an owned voice, intellectual property approved thing that I could take to my stations, I could put better like weather forecast updates because I don't have to have a guy staying up all night.
Right.
I can keep an eye on moving things like that, or sports reports, or whatever I want for different cities. But I need control of the AI voice, right? I can't use something that somebody's going to sue me for later. But so I'm looking for tools like that. It's a fun thing. So I came here kind of poking around to see between open source and very expensive source, which there's a lot of very expensive source here.
Oh yes, there is. Very much so.
if I wonder if you have an AI weather guy that's gone bad. Can you fire him? I guess you can fire him.
You can fire him.
I guess
you could delete him.
Your rogue fake weather guy, yes.
Fake weather guy. So the other question is, I want to ask you about your son and his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I have gotten more enjoyment of watching him describe technology. Can you tell me about that?
So, Jeff, I don't know how many people, again, I love being able to do this, and part of my life in radio was, my kids were part of radio. I mean, you can't, your wife, your kids, everything, it was engrossing, and you have to have a plan. But so I would take my kids all the time with me to a remote. If I got late calls, like, the remote tomorrow, the engine, I would do that. I would take them to the transmitter site. If we're out on a Saturday, kids ball game, you get a call from the transmitter site. It's like, dude, your game's over. We're going right to the site. So I would take him, and Jeff was one that picked up that knowledge. My older son, Joel, did too.
Okay.
My daughter, Maria, was less interested in it.
Yeah.
And my daughter, Katie, actually had a lot of interest, but unfortunately, she did not participate. But I got grandkids now that I take to sites and get them involved in that.
Okay.
So with all of that, so Jeff comes out with that, and I used to give him old computers, and he would get them working again. I'd have to get a hard drive that's like, this hard drive, and he took it with that. So then he went and did his whole life, like that was all of him, doing this thing. And he loves coding, which a lot of kids think they like coding.
Okay.
They have to start doing it.
Until they start doing it.
It's all typing, letters, characters, slashes, and everyone matters.
Yes.
You can't get it wrong.
Yes.
So, but Jeff got into that, got very good at it. Loved photography. So you fast forward, 5 or 10 years, and he keeps the skill work, the YouTube world. His work life involved some intense learning to deploy like a ton of using Ansible playbooks, it's called. So you can deploy a ton of servers all over the country, say. And you have this playbook, which he uses them on his computer. So if he got tired of his laptop being slow, he would deploy his playbook and rebuild it from what it was. So it's a very interesting thing. He wrote a book on that. It was a great success. And then the YouTube thing was just kind of growing, right? And then all of a sudden with COVID, I think it exploded and doubled, right? Because a lot more tech people had a lot more time to kind of keep an eye on a video. And he just kept improving his techniques. He does it, which it's great. Like I love seeing any human being do that. Like keep improving your techniques. There's so much you can learn. Yeah, if you're lucky, you'll never stop being able to. Just being able to come to a show like this, right? You come to a show like this, you learn things you did not even conceive, and then you can put an application to it. So we both are the same that way. We both love that kind of thing. So he would have come to the show, but it's the whole life world of his didn't make it, that this was the year. But he'll probably be here next year.
What are you looking forward to this year? You got any projects that you can't wait to get started on or finish up?
Yeah, the biggest.
Or get rid of?
Yeah. Well, the biggest thing, what I've been doing with this group is been going over and reworking all of the sites that have been done. They did them on what they like signed remote controls, all this kind of stuff. And a lot of it, you can't access it well, right? And it doesn't email you. It doesn't do anything like I'm here. Some of my sites will email me and go, hey, this happened. And you can react pretty quick. So I'm trying to slowly churn that in a reasonable way financially and everything else. And it's very fun to get to the end point of that. And then the rest of it is just like I was here looking at the on-air systems, something that can upgrade us to the new things we have. And that's always fun. But I mean, in that one's like you go from almost cheap to super expensive, So, but other than that, it's just like keep improving the audio at the sites. We've got projects now with YouTube and things, the station. You realize you have to move into that space.
Right.
You have to take your people with you, and you have to grow your, you have to grow your community. So, and luckily, like I said, Jeff, watching him do that stuff, you learn a bit about trying to get a community going and people that are interested hang out with you, right?
You mentioned the sign remote controls, right?
Yeah.
And you probably got good at programming those.
Yeah, well, good with the angst of the head in the background. Knowing that it's so easy to do it another way is really a bigger problem for me than actually programming.
Okay. But back when they came out years ago, I thought they were really cool, and I got pretty good at programming them, hitting that pound key. But did you ever... I put a couple of sign remote controls into rural stations, and I put it in, got it all programmed, show them the disc jockeys how to dial it up. Next time I go to the station, they'd say, Kurt, listen, buddy, we can't really understand what that dude's saying. Can you make him talk a little more clear?
Did you call up John Pate and have him recut the audio?
Well, they got all this text-to-speech. They have all these languages, and it's like, well, maybe regional adaptive
dialect.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We always ended up with Big Bob.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah. Thank you for calling.
Yeah.
GSC 3000.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot about that one. I never got to put any of those in.
Oh, yeah. No, Big Bob was in there, and Perfect Paul, who was the weather service boy.
Yeah.
When you mentioned those signs, I just like reliability, like, man.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Just sit there and run.
Yeah.
Just make sure they get power if you got to do the AM power change.
Yes.
You guys know what I'm talking about. Hey, we're going to have our final segment coming up in a couple of minutes. Maybe Josh and I will finish that out. Have you had a chance to use any of the MaxxKonnect products?
No, I have not had a chance because this world I'm in now, we don't do remotes even. So,
no,
the STLs, we do have products that I don't need to mention, but for us, that the setup is like a DSL line, transmitter site. Now, as you know, all the copper keeps going away. Guys are just turning off the stuff. So we all do look at solutions. So you're one of them for some of the places. We're just not there yet.
We do a bunch of that. We probably, I would think at least 20% of our customers are solely remote control because they turn the copper off.
Yeah, exactly.
And that happens a lot. And we should talk.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I've got you on my phone. I got you where I need you when I need you.
All right, good deal.
Got that covered.
Good deal.
Josh, hey, man, I want to hear about MaxxKonnect because thanks a lot, Joe.
Hey, good.
Thanks, Joe. Good to see you.
All right.
Okay.
It's time to hear about MaxxKonnect and what you guys are doing new or different. than you may have before. I always talk about the wireless product.
Right.
We use it when we need to.
Right.
For This Week in Radio Tech. My lovely wife, Carmen, who's off camera over here to the side, she has
a very disturbed look on her face.
Like, don't talk about me, man. I wonder if we can get ISIS to get back on. Oh, yeah, to get us maybe. There we go.
All right. Look at that.
All right, how you doing? We went on a little 1-week honeymoon vacation, but it was a working vacation.
It's always a working vacation. You're in radio. It's always a working vacation.
And we did the TWiRT show from our resort in Florida, and the hotel Wi-Fi was just terrible.
Yep.
And it was great when it worked, but it quit working about every minute and a half.
Yep.
For 10 seconds.
Yep.
And then it came back.
Yep.
What is going on with that? And then my T-Mobile phone, 5G, great signal, and it worked, except sometimes it didn't.
Yep. And that's the problem is they'll work great until they don't.
I whipped out the MaxxKonnect wireless box. We did the whole show with Frank Foti.
Oh, very good.
And it turned out great, just great. So, talk to me about what some of your latest innovations, offerings, and.
Well, we're still rocking along with the Priority. All 3 carriers got some new hardware offerings. They're mounted up here in the booth. Here, I'll go grab one.
Well, actually, we can get a close up. Oh. There we go.
But those are our newest offerings. We partnered with a company called Teltonica that they manufacture them for us. They've got Category 6 modems in them, which will theoretically do 300 megs down by 150 up. Which, that's in lab perfect conditions, but we do get much greater performance out of those than we did out of the older routers.
Yeah.
And then that's not to discount the quality of the older routers. You have one.
Yeah.
It's still working great.
Yeah.
So, those are our current hardware offerings. One of the big things that we've launched in the last few months, we have a user portal now. So folks can log into that and monitor their MaxxKonnect data usage, see how much data they used on a particular day. They can get data alerts. So if they're getting close to their usage for the account, rather than just monitoring it on the device, because if you've got some third-party device and you just got a SIM from us, there's no way to monitor it. Well, now there is. And it'll send you an alert that'll help keep your overages down. So we've also got if you get one of our routers, one of our MaxxKonnect branded routers, you also get a complimentary subscription to our remote management system.
Oh.
So that is, other manufacturers have a system where you have to buy their management service as part of the contract to use their hardware. With us, it's included. And that's one of the big things is it is completely free as long as you have your MaxxKonnect wireless service. You can remotely manage all your routers from a web page. You log in, and the cool thing about it that I like, I don't want to have to learn a different user interface for different types of route or for the web-based thing versus actually logging into the unit. Mm-hmm. With RMS, you don't, because when you go into it and you click the link, it tunnels you directly into the router. So you're making changes in real time, as opposed to a lot of other companies where you make changes on the web and then you click commit and it has to go and take that entire config file and remotely load it onto the unit, and then you have to wait for confirmation that it did it. Whereas ours tunnels directly into the unit, and you're making the changes on there in real time. It's really cool, and it's like I said, it's complimentary as long as you have active service with us. So it's really great.
If people want more information about MaxxKonnect,
MaxxKonnect.com,
and it's spelled funny.
Yeah, 2 X's and a K.
MaxxKonnect.com.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So bringing you MaxxRadio as well.
Thank you very much.
The entire radio station is running on MaxxKonnect Wireless.
I got something else to ask you about, and that would be Angry Audio.
Yeah.
I don't want to. Can you talk about this new box that may put out MPX?
It might, if they make it work. Yeah.
It'll work. It'll work.
Catfish and the team have been great to work with. We started talking about this probably 6 months ago. There is a USB sound card that outputs composite. It was specifically designed to work with software-based processors that output composite, because right now, if you're using some type of software-based processor like a Stereo Tool or Breakaway One or something like that, you're stuck with consumer-grade USB audio cards that you buy on Amazon.
Right.
This is a broadcast, purpose-built audio interface that runs USB.
Yeah.
It has 2 analog composite outs on BNCs, no adapters required.
Right.
It'll do analog composite or digital, so you can do why is it escaping me? MPX 192.
Oh, MPX, yeah. AES 192.
AES 192, yeah. You can do that with it. It's got analog and digital inputs, and the input and output are sample rate converted separately. So you don't have to worry about issues between the input and the output being locked to the same sample rate. Because on consumer grade cards, you have a 192 output that you need to do composite. Well, then you also have your input running at 192. So you're upsampling all your audio, and it sounds awful. With this, the input is clocked separately from the output, so you're able to put your 48K or 44.1 audio into the in, and then the output is fixed at 192 for your composite purposes. It's really slick.
I'm showing the product right now because you've got it in your booth.
We've got the flyers. The product isn't quite ready yet.
Right.
We didn't want to show vaporware, so the product isn't quite ready yet.
On the back, as you'd expect, there are the 2 BNC outputs that you mentioned.
Correct.
Right. Now, because this connects to your computer via USB.
Yes.
What would the computer typically be running? Would it be running Stereo Tool?
It could be running Stereo Tool, Breakaway One, any processing suite that will run on a PC and output composite audio.
Or Omni SST that would work.
Absolutely.
Or this could be connected to a Raspberry Pi that was decoding micro MPX.
Yes.
Okay.
So it could also connect to a computer and have it decode micro MPX.
Yeah.
There's, any purpose that you have to output composite audio from some type of computing device.
Yeah.
This gives you the opportunity to do that.
So some people have used a Behringer outboard USB device that was supposed to be 192 kilohertz sampling.
Right.
May or may not actually have given you that.
Usually it will. What usually gets you with those is, one, there's no shielding on them at all, so you get RFI into them.
Right.
And also, a lot of them times they're not DC flat. So you end up with DC tilt on the output. So it might be at 192, but you've got DC tilt on there, so you're not getting the proper audio performance.
Right.
This was specifically designed to not have that issue. The other issue, like I was saying, is you can do input and output on the same card, which you can't on the consumer cards. And also the output driver chip for the composite outputs is socketed. So, you put this at a transmitter site, there's a good chance that it's going to get popped by lightning at some point. You take the top off, pop the chip out, replace it in the field. You never have to worry about it.
Gotcha.
So, and you don't have to worry about USB power either. It's got a fixed power. It's got an AC power cord on it.
Okay. So this box is not powered. I'll show it again. Not powered by the USB.
Yeah,
it's got a pro power supply.
Turn that over.
Oh yeah, right there's power cord.
See the captive power cord right there. Yeah.
Okay.
And the great thing about that is, you don't ever have to worry about, does this USB bus that I'm plugged into have enough to drive this card? Which is usually the case with a lot of the consumer grade cards, is you're sucking the power off the USB bus.
Right.
So, we are really excited about this, and we're getting very close to having it available for sale. And
you mean I can do 140% modulation and not have to worry about sucking all the USB power down?
Absolutely.
All right, good.
You can make that real loud. Real loud. We have too much fun.
I think this is a cool product. I just want you to sit down next to me here, as you get a few more shots of him, and then we'll be done. How about that?
Stop shooting me. No, nobody wants to see this. People have told me for years that I have a great face for radio, and I agree with them.
I don't know what you can say about...
He just keeps shaking it at me. Kirk, why are you shaking it at me?
Well, the ad is supposed to be about angry audio, and Corny Gould was here earlier. I haven't seen him today.
No, he took off. He actually came and had dinner with us last night and played poker. It was fun.
Okay.
Actually, no, we played poker. He made fun of us playing poker.
Well, the website is angryaudio.com for all the Angry Audio branded stuff, and Studio Hub.
Yes.
Get it all there, or pick out what you need, get your exact part number, and then call Josh Bohn.
Yeah, call us. We're an Angry Audio distributor.
Yeah.
We love Angry Audio. Problems go away when you get angry.
Don't get mad. Oh.
Get angry.
Get angry.
Get angry. Hey, there I am. Look at that.
Oh, my gosh. Well, This has been great. Thank you for hosting This Week in Radio Tech.
I didn't host it. You hosted it. I just pushed the button.
Us sitting here.
Okay,
You know what I mean.
that's fine.
How about a wide shot of the whole place?
A whole
wide
wide shot. Look at that.
Look at that. Here she goes. Oh,
Where's
man.
that? There it is.
You have the best
Everybody
help.
wave. Yeah.
You have the best help. It's amazing.
I try. I try.
It's a good thing. You know, the key to business success is surround yourself with people who are better than you.
Yes.
And obviously you've done that.
And that's exactly, well, and the funny thing is, that's always been my policy. I never want to be the smartest guy in the room.
Yeah.
And I'll definitely never be the best looking guy in the room. That's for sure. So, Kirk's going to pass out in our booth here. That's a lot of paperwork.
Did I accidentally just hit a 4-shot? Yes, I did. Okay.
There we go.
Hey, thanks to all of our sponsors. Let's see. We have Angry Audio, MaxxKonnect. We have Broadcasters General Store and Broadcast Tools and Broadcast Bionics at bionic.co.uk or bionic.radio. So please check them all out. Thank you all for making comments on our Facebook feed. Sorry, we got to a few of them, but it's just me trying to run everything. So, and thank you for your patience in us getting started a little bit late today.
And we were happy to have you on MaxxRadio here at NAB.
We were happy to be had.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So, hope the people in Vegas enjoyed listening to us.
Thanks, folks. We'll see you again next week on This Week in Radio Tech. Bye-bye.